this book, which is Ikagi Pocket, when she was doing other rotations, and it is really helpful. So she also wanted to buy this book, which is called Arznei mit Pocket Plus. So the cool thing about those books are, I think, as we all know, there are like those huge bricks of textbooks, but they are not really practical for learning when you're also working. Whereas stuff like this, they're super light, they're structured very systematically. Here you have all the important topics, and when you open them, you have all those examples and very nice explanations as well. So it's very practical. And since Ikagi, and here this is about the medicine that you gave people, right? They are like both of the main tools that you use day in and day out in almost every subspecialty in medicine. So it is also recommended to study this. This one has like the first part are all the medicine, and the second part are like the disease with the therapy that you should use, and what medicine you should give to patients. So this is one side, and I guess just in general in this phase of my life there is a lot of learning and growing to do. For example, in cardiac surgery there are a lot to understand, not only about the heart but also the perioperative management of a patient. And so there's a lot of knowledge within anesthesiology and intensive care medicine as well. And our chief always asked us questions during the roundings in the morning, so I have already embarrassed myself so many times. It was so funny, like one time I made such a dumb mistake that he looked at the Namensschild, so the name thing here, to see who is so dumb and make mistakes like this. So yeah, oh well, I'm laughing, but it actually does put pressure on me. Makes me think, how come that I didn't know this and that? But I guess this is a normal process in training as a doctor. I also heard other senior doctors say or post that someone said, when can you be a doctor that is capable of being in charge all by yourself? And some people said like maybe after 5 or 10 years. So you see the learning curve at the beginning is very steep, and even for later it is still difficult after 5 or 10 years. So I guess I need to be patient and be kinder to myself. On that note, I'm going to show you some books that I'm reading, because I'm going to move out of this apartment soon, and my goal is to read as many physical books as possible and donate them afterwards. And I also made the decision, before I have my own apartment, I'm going to utilize the is between 2 to 3 euros. If you live in Germany, Medimobs is such a great resource, but just, it's so hard to get rid of all of them and finish reading them. You know, get rid sounds so bad, but I just mean that it's not like I don't want to keep them, but it just makes no sense to move with them with books that I know I wouldn't read or reread in the next 10 years, you know. So this is the first one that I'm reading. It is called Der Tote im fremden Mantel. It is the third book in the, I think, Post-Humus trilogy. I actually accidentally read them out of order. I read the first and then this one, but thank God there are like little to no spoilers for book 2 so far. I'm third way through this, and the reason why I like this book is also because the author is the owner of the booktube channel Preda Böhler. I will put her name here, but she is such a cool person. She practiced law in the Netherlands, although she's from Cologne, Germany, and is just such a cool lady. And now she also teaches in the University of Amsterdam, but at the same time she's a writer, and in her books there are really very realistic description of Amsterdam, and since I've been to Amsterdam 3 times, so I can also imagine how it is there, and it's very cozy to read in the winter. So this book so far, it is about a crime happened, and they found out that, you know, basically another person who also passed away stole the crime victim's coat, and stories ensues from there. The next book I'm reading is Margaret Mitchell's Vom Wind verweht, so the German translation of Gone with the Wind. I can do a ramble later about this book, maybe later in the day or a few days later, but essentially I am reading and listening to the audiobook at the same time, and I recommend the Audible version, the German version. The reading is just so nice, and I'll put the narrator's name down here as well. So if you're considering to, you know, listen to the audiobook, but this book, it's my third time reading it from cover to cover. I read the first 2 times in Chinese when I was like 13 and 15, so now I'm 26, almost 27, and it's just so nice to encounter these characters again. It's an American Civil War story. I think you know what it is about, or have seen the famous film adaptation about it. The third book that I am currently reading is called The Rosie Effect, and this is the second book in the I think Don Tillman trilogy, which is basically about this genetic professor who is not so great at social interaction, and you'll read more about, you know, what kind of condition he has. But essentially in the first book, he made himself a mission to find a wife and named it the Wife Project, and during this whole process he encountered, you know, obviously different women, and the stories ensues, and this is like the follow-up of that. And yeah, it's just a very happy and heartwarming have a change as well. So now we have Australia along with the wind in America and Amsterdam. I haven't noticed that, but yeah. And also, I discovered a Chinese reading app that just makes my life so happy. I find a reading app in Chinese and it is so cool. You only pay €3 a month and you have unlimited access to almost every book you can think of. So this is like one thing that is so cool about living in China. The cost of a lot of things is just really a fraction of what you have to pay here. For example, for Audible, you normally pay like €10 for one audiobook, right? And here you pay like €3 and have unlimited access to all the books. So I have already finished 2 books here, and now I am reading Adam Kay's book. So Adam Kay is the author of It's Going to Hurt, I think. I actually finished that 2 years ago. He is a British author who used to be a doctor working in gynecology, but quit medicine, and he basically wrote a lot about how it was like working for the NHS. A lot of things are funny, hilarious, but a lot of things are also very sad, and it just shows you how it is for a young person to work in medicine. And I also got the 3-Body Problem book. I started this book maybe 3 years ago when I used another reading app in Chinese, and then after I changed my phone, I can't find that app again in Apple Store. So for a long time I was like, what a shame, I can't read Chinese books, using these apps anymore. But recently I discovered this app called Weixin Dushu. I know the chance that you are also Chinese is basically 0, and if you are Chinese you probably know this app already, but just in case you are trying to learn Chinese or anything, just use this app. It's so cheap and, as I said, unlimited access. So this is the first update. I will see you all later. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back again. Today is the 29th of December. I just came back from the hospital. Came back from the hospital, and today there wasn't much to do or to see because it is like this in my ward in cardiac surgery that the time period between Christmas and New Year they would only do emergency cases and not like the regular plan, because regularly there will be a lot more patients that came in and got operated on. And because I am in the intensive care unit at the moment, there was really not much work to do for me as a medical student, and they let me go at 2. Now it's 2:30 and I'm just going to eat the lunch that I have. It's nothing glamorous, it's just half of a croissant and a whole mèche bréchette. And also I think my fridge just started to make noise, so I hope it's not too distracting. I also have 2 of those little clementines and a coffee that I made out of Jacob's coffee or Jacob's. Like, this is the 3-in-1 in collab with Milka. I honestly thought this would be maybe too sweet, but astonishingly this is like less sweet than their classic flavor, which is a little bit too sweet for me. So I'm going to eat and at the same time talk to you guys. Yeah. So, second thought, I think I will probably just finishing the talking part and then start to eat, because otherwise I sometimes got impatient and when I watch other people's videos that, the talking part is, the eating part is too long and the person doesn't get to a point. You have to wait until them finish eating their bites. So yeah, what do I want to talk about? I recently watched the Strive to Fit video about she talking about leaving New York. So for a little bit of context, the Strive to Fit channel is run by this American emergency care doctor called Jamie, and I have watched her video since her med school days, like really from the beginning until her residency. So 4 years med school, 4 years residency, and she is now a new attending. And she was talking in this video that she is now also doing a MBA, so kind of the business and management type of degree alongside with our fellowship in health administration, I think, because she explained at the moment she cannot imagine working in ER for the rest of her life. And I just thought this resonated a lot with me and a lot of my friends, because when we decided to go into med school, we were still very young, and a lot of us don't have a lot of exposure to the healthcare, system, unless your parents or someone in your family works in the medical field, right? And so, although it is super interesting to study most subjects in medicine, I would say working in a hospital is like a whole different matter, because obviously you have to see a lot of life-threatening moments and a lot of suffering from the patients. And when I'm here in the ICU, I do see a lot of patients that do not make it, but with our Western medicine, so you have a lot of the possibilities to keep them living, although like the outcome wouldn't be good. But if you use, for example, mechanical ventilation and other support procedures, patients would be very, very sick, but they could still hold on for a long time. And also working in hospital is very physically demanding as well, because you walk a lot, you stand a lot, but you also for example in the operation room, not only the standing, you also can't drink any water, obviously, and for lung surgery it takes like, I don't know, 3+ hours, and in the end it is not really healthy for you as a doctor. And so what Jamie also mentions is that in ER, so especially for ER, no matter it's in America or here in Germany, the system is like you have a morning shift, evening shift, and night shift, and you cannot just rotate between those 3 types of shifts. And the good thing about ER is you work your 8-hour shifts, and afterwards, no matter how the patient is doing, it is not your responsibility. Not like in other specialties, like in internal medicine. Sometimes if you go back home usually very, very bad, if you can call it a schedule at all. That's what Jamie mentioned in her blog post as well. She said that, you do 10 days of night shift, and during these 10 days you don't get to see any other people other than your colleagues, and when you go back, then you sleep a lot and you can't really do things with your partners because you're just so exhausted from the night. And when you're on day shifts, you also don't get to do anything because you work from 8 to sometimes 6 or 7 o'clock, and you get back home and the day is also over, and you face a lot of loneliness even if you're living with somebody else. So I just thought it would be really nice to choose something where it is possible for me to have a normal schedule, even if it means that I don't get the pay for doing night shifts. And that's why pathology is very interesting to me at the moment. And I also like the subject when I am in medical school. I am still in medical school, but practitioners, is something like somewhere in between school and work as a junior doctor or working as a resident. Today, one of my colleagues also asked me what I want to do later, and I told her pathology or dermatology. And she said she wasn't expecting that from me. She said, dermatology, you see a lot of disgusting things, and pathology, the smell when you doing the grossing. At the same time, I told her, first of all, I think you get used to a lot of things. Like when I did my internship in dermatology, I also thought, oh, who would want to do that? But you got used to things really fast. And second of all, I think people find different things unbearable. For example, for me, I cannot see eyes that are injured. I found that very creepy, but and I also don't want to do a surgical specialty because it takes you forever to finish in Germany. I think in the US it's not that case, and I don't think in China it's that case, but in Germany it takes you a long time to finish training as a surgeon, and I just want to be finished when I'm at the beginning of my 30s. And my colleague was telling me she doesn't think it's a bad thing to train this long because you're still young, she told me. And well, I mean, yeah, I'm young at the moment, but if I need like 10 years to train as a surgeon, then I'm not young anymore. So yeah, that's a kind of life ramble for me. I think this video would be really long. Hopefully this is interesting for you guys. And I think maybe tomorrow I'm going to do the life goals, or just goals for 2023, and round up this vlog. Until then, bye. Hello everyone. Today is already the 5th of January, and I wanted to do end of the year vlog, but I have visited my friend from high school during the New Year period, and then I worked 3 days, and not only in my regular rotation in cardiac and thoracic surgery, but also met up with my supervisor for my thesis, which went very well. So I'm super happy about that, and I'm so grateful for their help, because there are several other girls who are doing their PhD, so they are not medical students. They are what we call naturwissenschaftliche Mitarbeiter, so which means they started released statistics last year in February, so it was almost a year ago, right? And then I at that period I did it intensively within 2-3 weeks, and then I was done with my data, with exception of one small thing that I didn't do back then. But now I already forgot a lot of the process, and she showed me the rope, so to speak. And yeah, I just want to show you like how I plan my new year, what I do. This is actually the first year that I didn't really do a New Year's resolution and goals, like 23 goals for 2023. Like I could still be doing that in January. However, I've noticed the year past I have not really been thinking about the goals. Maybe 3 weeks into the new year, and also I have found a lot of peace. So, for example, with the goals, like in the past, I have always had a goal of maybe lose 5 kilos or something like that. But I have to say, in the past few months, I've realized that yes, it is true that especially in Asian culture, it is seen to be very pretty if you are very slim, very petite. However, I personally don't think it is that pretty to be, that thing. I'm fine with how I look, and I now really only do sport to be stronger, and I am super happy if I can lift more weights because I'm stronger and not because I have lost some weight again. So I'm super happy about this change. So that means I don't have a goal to lose any weight this year, to be honest. And then because this year I am going to finish my degree, this is my final year in medical school, so there are going to be a lot of changes that I cannot really foresee, and therefore also makes no sense to plan that far, because I don't know where I would be next year this time. And so what I did is I will show you. I got something like this where I just wrote the months, and then I give myself 3 tasks, main tasks category for each month, and I'm going to focus on them, and I mark each one of them with one color, so it is clear what I planned. So basically from January to March, my main task is to finish my doctorate thesis and send it to my supervisor, which I think it's doable because I have already met up with her yesterday, and we said that we would work towards that goal. In February I would send my final draft to her. She will correct it and send it to my professor. The second goal is to study with the pharmacology book that I showed you previous in this video, and I just broke the book into different sections, how many topics I need to finish. And then the third task would be to study with the EKG book, right? So that's from January to March, and since from April I wouldn't have the task for my doctorate thesis anymore, I replaced this task with study with case books for internal medicine and surgery, which are recommended by one of my friends who shadowing in pathology because I am doing my second rotation in dermatology and my third in internal medicine. However, pathology is also very interesting for me. Depending on what I do at the end, I think I can do a video then. And yeah, so I need to do that, and some time between, I think, July to December, I would have to try to find a job. So ideally I would be in the same hospital, or not in the same hospital, in the same city where my best friend works, because she works as a dentist, and her place and her workplace is pretty far away, so she needs to take the tram to go there, and it took her like basically 1 hour to her workplace and 1 hour back, and sometimes after a very long day it is exhausting. So that if it all works out, I would be finding something close to the uni clinic that would be like at the half point of basically her place and her workplace. And she said, yeah, I would just be crushing your place maybe 2-3 times a week. And I said, sure, of course. So yeah, a lot of exciting things are going to happen in the new year. I'm super excited. I am also very happy that I have this little hobby that I can share with you guys. I really hope you would have a wonderful year ahead, and hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.